wrong. I don't think it should happen.
I think it's a horrible thing. Like, no one should go through being sexually assaulted or assaulted in any way. Just horrible.
I've strongly supported the protection of women against violence. We argue and we have verbal disputes, but never violence.
Violence against women, I think, is one of those things that you can never even put into words. It's something that should never happen. You think of your own mother, your family, your sister, and you could never imagine someone being violent towards them. It's never called for.
I think violence against women is something that's totally unacceptable. There's never any justification for violence of any kind, especially to a woman.
Well, I'm generally an anti-violence person, so it doesn't really matter who we're talking about. I'm pretty much against violence, though I think that violence against women is often a power relationship, and it's something that our society needs to address in terms of educating people and understanding that we all have the right to live in peace and without the fear of violence.
I just think violence is terrible, and I think it's a way to solve anything.
Violence against any human being is bad in general.
Where I live and where I came from, and the kind of work that I do, I think there's still a long way to go. And we have a lot of work to do, especially in terms of awareness.
I think it's a very serious problem, and we should take it seriously, and obviously it's not acceptable.
Feminism is something that I view quite positively, and I don't hear it much talked about these days, which sort of worries me, because I think we still need to be thinking about how we live our lives in this world. But I think today's generation doesn't think as politically as much, but really it has brought about so many important changes around the planet in the last 50 years or so, and it's something that maybe should even be renewed.
I guess it's a sort of movement that is, I don't know how current it is now, and maybe, I don't know, it needs to be refreshed or revived a bit.
I think about strong women and women like my mother and my aunts and my sister and my niece. That's what I think about, I suppose, because they're very strong, independent women.
When I hear the words, I relate it back to, I guess, a movement sort of in the 60s, and less so to what's going on now.
I think it's very important being a woman. I mean, being a woman, we should firstly have equality with men, but men should also respect us. So I believe in the old thing of men having respect for women, and the old-fashioned etiquette that men should have for women. Although with equality, sometimes one would think that we shouldn't get that respect.
Well, I think females are pretty strong people. I mean, they're the ones that go through a lot of pain and give birth and everything. So I think you have to be pretty strong to be able to do that.
Personally, I wouldn't like to be a woman, because there's all the problems, like birth, the pregnancy, and there's everything that comes along with that. But I like their fashion.
So often now, particularly with the younger generation, women don't get the respect that they should get from men. So I think it's important to get that respect, even though you want equality.
I would like to think that my position as a woman would be treated the same way as I would treat a woman. It goes back a bit to the old thing, do unto others as you would, that.
In Germany, it's okay to be a woman, because so our culture is like this, that the opinion is accepted and that you can think what you want.
I hope that there would be some developments in the future, that the women have more rights and a better life.
In general, that the opinion is accepted and that they have the right to explain what they think, and
You just think of women being equal, women being free, and I suppose it comes from a Western society. It's nice to see women being treated the same, and I suppose as well, looking at the world, it's not the same everywhere, and hopefully one day women will be the same as men, and I think we're definitely in the right direction.
I've grown up, I've always had equality, and I've always had the same kind of opportunities as like male counterparts. Femininities is something that's very important, and it's like it's part of your identity, and Matt said like equality, like and I think it's very important for both genders to kind of have equal rights and equal opportunities.
You have equal access to education, you have equal rights to decision making, you have, you basically can say what you think. That sort of safety that is given to all women, that they can say what they think, and they basically have same access to your information, education, and awareness to what there is, or be involved in making decisions. I think that's what feminism is.